Good morning again, and a big welcome to all of you at our Love Stuff devotional. The theme of today's devotional is Out of the Deep. Imagine a lifeguard at the beach. They sit high up, sunglasses on, with a perfect view of the water. But they're not there for the view. They're there to watch over people, keeping a close eye on every movement in the water, ready to jump when someone is in trouble. Now imagine someone in trouble starting to sink. They struggle, arms flailing wildly. Without hesitation, the lifeguard dives into the water, swims quickly, grabs the person's hand, and pulls them safely back to shore. Why? Because it's their job. They're paid to do it. In 2 Samuel 22 verse 17, we read about another rescuer, but this time it's God Himself. David describes how God saved him from his enemies, the Philistines. He says, "He reached down from on high and took hold of me. He drew me out of the deep waters." This image of God reaching out His hand and pulling someone from deep waters is powerful. It tells us that God is always there to save us, no matter how deep the waters around us are. This reminds us of Peter walking on the water. He was full of courage, but when the wind rose, he became afraid and began to sink. What did Jesus do? He stretched out His hand and took hold of Peter, pulling him back to safety. Just like the lifeguard at the beach, but with one key difference. Jesus didn't need to be paid to do it. He did it out of love and out of pure grace. Lifeguards must always be alert, their eyes never leaving the water. In the same way, God is always awake, ready to help us, to stretch out His hand and save us when we struggle. But unlike the lifeguard who does it as a profession, God saves us because He loves us. He sent Jesus to save us from sin and death, not because He had to, but because He wanted to. David's experience with God wasn't just a survival story. It was a testimony of God's love and grace. He saw God as the one who is always there, ready to help, just like a lifeguard who keeps constant watch over the water. David understood that, just like someone pulled from deep waters, God had saved him from a situation that felt hopeless. In verse 20, David says, "He brought me out into a spacious place. He rescued me because He delighted in me." God's rescue isn't a one-time event. It's a daily reality. God saves us every day, every moment, not because He has to, but because He delights in us. He loves saving us, keeping us safe. So when you feel the waters rising around you, when you feel like you're sinking, remember, God is there, His hand outstretched. Just take His hand. He is the greatest lifeguard of all. And unlike the lifeguard at the beach, He doesn't need payment. His love and grace are enough. Dear Lord, thank You that You are always there to save us, that You never sleep or slumber. Help us to take Your hand when we find ourselves in the deep waters of life. Thank You for never leaving us, but for keeping us safe out of pure love and grace. Amen. If I hold on with my one hand to God's hand, nothing is impossible for me in this world. May you be blessed and hold on to God's hand. Love and regards, Shalom. For more inspiration, you're more than welcome to visit our Live Light Community Facebook page as well as our Live Light Community YouTube channel.